I've basically distilled the exact framework that I am currently using to scale my company. I've already achieved over $20 million in agency revenue, $6 million in product sales, but I believe I am about to 10x those numbers thanks to the power of AI. And it all starts with level 1. We need to build the foundations here so you actually understand how to leverage AI properly. So the first thing you're going to need in any business or in your personal life is a good memory and filing system. What I have is a memory folder, which has all of the memory that Claude has saved about me. By the way, this guy will also work for GPT. I just personally use Claude more for my business. I find it a bit better, but this stuff does change all the time, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. I have an instructions file, so it tells Claude Code when to save my memory to make sure that the important things are being saved. Then I have all of my business documents here, like my ops and organization chart, my clipping system, my company map, etc. So whenever I go into a new session on Claude Code, or even if I go into GPT and I use Codex, it knows everything about my business. And then any assets that I create within the business, I store here. Why is memory step 1? Well, simply put, you cannot leverage AI if AI does not know about you or your business. It's that simple. Now, to take things a step further, here's what I suggest. Firstly, get a proper meetings app. The one that I suggest, not sponsored, is Granola, because you can download it onto your desktop. Every single time you have a meeting, it saves all of the notes. And the cool thing about Granola is you can actually plug it in via their MCP into Claude Code. You can paste it in so it can actually edit your local files. So if you look in my business brain, I have a meetings folder where every single time I have a meeting, it updates in this folder, which means it always has context. So if I'm doing a brainstorming session, I can simply be like, hey, what are the biggest gaps or issues in my business based on the last team meeting? The other hack that I want to give you is even if you don't run a team, you can actually just speak in a Google Meet session by yourself with Granola plugged in, and you can just do a brainstorming session and it will save all of those notes. So just yap for like 30 minutes. I do this all the time. I literally just yap. I explain where my head's at, what I want to do, the ideas I have. Sometimes I even do it in WhatsApp if I'm on the go, and then I will put it into this later. But you can basically keep updating your context every single time you get a new thought. This is such an important habit if you actually want AI to be a better decision-making partner. So you want to capture everything. So Granola, you can also use Fireflies, by the way, for every single meeting. You can do solo rants with yourself, all of your numbers. You can do this with your monthly bank statements, payroll, etc. All of your customer documents. You put into a Claude Code session, it automatically files this data. By the way, if you've ever seen those Obsidian second brains, like I've done guides on, this does rely on this system. So no matter what you want to do, make a bunch of money, whether you want to create a personal operating system, you need to do this as the first prerequisite. Then you have your memory system, your folder system, like I just showed you. And then whenever you prompt, it's going to lean on that memory so Claude can read all of the data. So then when you make decisions about money, you can actually get a proper super intelligence consultant grade decision made. Obviously, AI isn't quite at AGI level yet, but in a year, it's going to have better strategic thinking than us. And even with me, when I go back and forth on like funnels and ideas and, looking for gaps in my logic, it's just so good as a brainstorming partner, but it's useless if it doesn't have the context on you.